Hi, I just wanted to do a short video about service dogs. I've had a service dog for 2 years now. He's an English Labrador named Archer. And there are some things I thought I was prepared for, but I only was, I had the knowledge but not the inner experience. The first thing is interaction with others. If you have panic disorder or you can't stand strangers coming up to you, some even touching you, I've had people try to actually take Archer from me. Or just, oh, puppy, you're going in the store for milk 5 minutes, 30 minutes later, you're still in the store. And a lot of people aren't being rude. A lot of people, and especially if you live in a small town, they haven't seen a lot of service dogs, so they don't know how to behave. You see a service dog, the best thing you can do is act like they're not there. That dog is completely invisible. Don't talk to it, don't touch it, don't try to pet it, don't, I know you're a service dog, but you're so cute. That's still distracting that dog. And they could miss an alert and cause problems for the handler. You don't mean to, but you could. So that's one thing. If you're thinking about getting a service dog, be aware that there's going to be a lot of interactions with people. Just because there's a dog there. That's it. That's simple. Another thing is gear. You cannot always find the right gear to fit your dog, like boots. They're just like people's feet. Sometimes they're hard to get a hold of. So if you want to go on Facebook, if you're already on Facebook, there are groups that are service dog handlers that will trade gear back and forth. That's a good way to try to get some gear or something. And, just trade gear back and forth is a good thing. But you can never have enough gear. That'll turn into a quick addiction. Oh, that's so cute. I want it for my service dog. Yeah. Service dogs are not robots. Just because you see someone labeled as a service dog and the dog accidentally goes in the middle of the floor at Walmart, which has happened to me many times, because when I first got Archer, he was sick. He had a belly problem called Giardia. And sometimes I'll miss his signals. Sometimes it's not because the dog's not trained. It's a dog. They're going to have off days. The handler's going to have an off day where they may miss a signal or they may miss a cue. And so just because you see a dog doing something you would figure a service dog doesn't do, doesn't mean it's a fake dog. It could just mean that it's a fake. It could also mean the service dog or the handler's having a day where nothing's going right, which happens to us all, right? Take more time when you're going somewhere, because it's like going somewhere with a 2-year-old. You got to load them up, you got to unload them, with Archer, sometimes, depending on the vehicle, I have to take his balance harness off, load him up, and then when unload him, put on his gear, and then we go in the store. So add a little more time. If you're thinking about getting a service dog, add a little more time when you're going places. Not only for the people interaction, but if you have to gear them up after you get out of the car before you load them up, that's going to add a little more time to wherever you're going. You need to bring water. They got to have a drink too. And now I make it a rule that Archer doesn't drink in the building unless we're in a bathroom. Then I'll give him a drink, or I'll pull him outside and give him a drink. But I consider it myself, I won't give them a drink in the building unless we're in the bathroom or outside. It's just the way I am. Plus, I have an English Lab. He's 104 pounds. He's not exactly the cleanest when it comes to drinking. He tends to spill it sometimes or slop it over the side of the bowl, so I can clean it up easier in those locations. You're going to want to add time to, if the dog's going to be trained to wear boots, you got to put them on, you got to fit them right, and then before you go anywhere, you got to put them on and make sure they fit right so they're not rubbing the feet. Or if they've got a dew claw, you might want to get socks. Some people use baby socks instead of buying expensive dog socks. They work just as well. My guy doesn't have a dew claw, so for me it's not an issue. And there's going to be people that just because they see you have a disability, be it a service dog, a wheelchair, walker, crutches, whatever, they're going to think that just because something physically doesn't work right, that you can't hear them, or if you're deaf, read their lips or know what they're saying in some way. And they're going to talk about you right in front of your face like you don't exist. You can't let people's idiocracy get to you. You can't blow your top. You're a representative for every other service dog handler out there, every other wheelchair user, every other deaf person. We're all representatives for each other. And if we blow our top, they're going to generalize all of us. Oh, she couldn't handle her temper. All disabled people are like that. Or like I was out the other day and I heard, oh, I guess they thought since my legs don't work really well, my ears didn't work. And they're like, oh, I helped a person like her the other day, so I don't need, because I had dropped something and Archer already had something in his mouth. And so I was having trouble getting it picked up because I needed him to hold on to what he had. And they're like, oh, I helped a person like her the other day, so I don't need to help her again. Help her. I already did my good deed. And I guess they didn't think I had heard that. And I finished what I was doing, and I just walked away because I was angry, I was upset, and my feelings were hurt. But I used to have a really bad temper, and I've learned temperance a little bit more, especially since getting Archer. People are going to comment, they're going to make rude jokes, they're going to make kissy sounds at your dog, or bark at your dog, or growl at your dog, or even try to take the leash. That's happened to me several times. You got to purport yourself with a modicum of dignity. But that's a lesson we all have to learn, no matter if we're disabled or not. It's a lot of times not what you say, but how you say it and how you come across when you do so. It took me a long time. My best friend used to always say, Tanya, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. And I didn't understand. For the longest time, I didn't understand that. But we all have to, if we could all learn to live with each other and have a little more dignity in how we purport ourselves, then we would have a lot calmer world, or at least a little bit calmer world. I respect myself enough to try not to lose my temper. Do I always succeed? No. I'm human. A temper's going to blow, especially if you mess with my dog. He's my furry angel. I protect him with everything I have. And if you're a service dog handler, or you know one, you understand that the bond is a little more than just dog and human. It's a bond of dependence and love that is very hard to get across, but it's more than, oh, that's just your dog. No. Archer's my lifeline. And I'll do anything to my power to protect him, keep him safe, and keep him happy. And if keeping him happy means spending a little more on toys just so he can have something to play with when he's not on duty, then I'll do that. I don't have children. He is my kid. It's a lot the same. Not exactly, but a lot. But just be wary. If you're going to get a service dog, it's not all rainbows. Oh, I have a service dog now, everything's going to be great. Not always. But you got to take the good with the bad. Another thing is, it's an expense. There are a few places that give, like the Wounded Warrior Project, that help people get service dogs for little to no expense, but they're few and far between. A lot of people with a service dog, and if you don't have one, you may not think of this, but there's an expense there. They had to pay for the dog. They had to pay for the training. A lot of times, sometimes they had to do the training themselves and pay for a trainer. Then they had to pay for the gear, those vests, those boots, those cute little boots that you love to talk about. Those things aren't cheap. So when you look at a service dog, you could be looking at thousands upon thousands of dollars. Not only in the dog, but in the gear and the time and the love. It all adds up. So it's not just a pet. So when you take your pet into a store, oh, I can just say he's a service dog because I want my pet with me everywhere. You're not only risking someone else's life, but their service dog's life, their happiness mentally and physically. You're being irresponsible. And just because you don't get caught doesn't mean it's not wrong. Another thing that bothers me, people say it's a service dog and they have them on those retractable flexi leads. And I do have one of those. It's how Archer goes out to go potty. And then I go out later and clean up after him. But if he's working, he is never on a retractable. You have no control over your dog on those retractable leashes. And that's why service dogs get hurt, because owners think it's okay to pretend, and then their dog doesn't know how to behave. And service dogs are not aggressive. My mom's 15-pound cockapoo can boss around my 104-pound English lab because he is so mild and so gentle. He has to be for the work he does. And then you think it's okay to let your dog act like a fool and endanger someone else. And not only the person, but the life of the animal. You treasure your pet. Don't you think we treasure ours? And ours aren't pets. Be responsible with your pets. There's a lot of people out there that will willingly dog sit for you. Find another way than pretending to have a service dog. That just makes me angry. Some people think because you're disabled you get a lot of attention. But not everybody that's disabled wants attention. A lot of us just want to be treated like any other person on the planet. And if that means you look straight past me and don't even pay attention to me, hallelujah, praise the Lord. Because that's what I want. I don't want to be stared at because I walk funny. I don't want to be made fun of because I can't see real well. I want to be treated just like you. Golden rule, do unto others. That includes service dogs. How would you want someone to treat your dog? Treat mine and me with that much respect, at least. I didn't mean to get as serious as I did, but some things need to be said. And like I said, service dogs aren't robots, and neither are their handlers. They're going to have off days and mess up. Sometimes quite literally in the middle of, aisle. Being someone that'll pull out a napkin from their purse and go, "Don't worry about it, sweetie, I'll help you." And not say, "Oh, that's a fake service dog because it pooped in the aisle." And say, "I'm sorry if you're having an off day and let me help you." That means a lot. Nobody's a robot. Everybody's got thoughts and feelings. Let's act like it with each other in all that we do. Have a good day.